Hello, I'm Connie Rotella, and welcome to our Triple Threat podcast. I'm super excited to begin this journey with all of you. Are you ready to put your best foot forward and show up with confidence? This tool is here to help you evolve into the artist you are meant to be. Just always remember to believe, become, and be ready. Add a new skill set or refine what you already know. So here we go. My special guest today is my son, Alessandro Gabrielli. He is a 16-year-old triple threat artist. He's been doing this since he's 9 years old, and I am so proud of him. Alessandro, thank you for being on your mom's podcast today.
Thanks for having me.
You're laughing right there. Is it funny being on your mom's podcast?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get started, Alessandro. How did you get started in the business?
Well, it's because of you. I took classes at your studio. And then you started the Triple Threat program early on. I think it wasn't right from the beginning, right? It was after a couple of years, right?
Alessandro, you were sitting on Taylor Baruchel's lap while she was teaching acting. It was from the beginning. Dance 123 is only a Triple Threat studio. You were watching Taylor Baruchel acting classes since you're like 3 years old.
Yeah, that I knew. I remember that. That's kind of where the whole thing started. And either way, I was in class after school every day. So, and then I developed a passion for it. And obviously you being you, oh, just go do this audition. Oh, it'll be fun. And then next thing I knew, I got Mary Poppins. And that was the first big musical that I got. And as a 10-year-old kid, it's like, for me, it was better than going to like Disney World, because then you really got to experience the magic behind the scenes, working with adults, working with professionals. And it takes your passion to another level, because you're working with people that are actually in this field, and it's a different feeling than class. In class, you're training, and when you're performing, it's a whole different energy.
And that show was really fun for you because you were like a kid in Mary Poppins. You were playing Michael Banks, and you were literally in every single scene. I think the show was 3 hours and you were in almost all the scenes, and you had to be on top of the game. And, being 10 and having that big responsibility in a French production, that must have been really cool. I don't think you understood how big it was till it was a premiere, and you sensed the energy of all the artists being.
I don't think it was the premiere that I was nervous on. Like, the premiere was cool because you got to see people. I think where I was nervous was the press that was coming to watch and do reviews and everything like that. I forgot what it was called.
It's La Médiatique.
Yeah. So when that happened, that's when I was nervous, because everyone was like, no, you can't mess up, because these are like when the people are coming to watch for reviews and to come, that's when the pressure was on for me. And then we had done it for so many, I think we did it for 2 years. We'd done it for so long. I knew everybody's lines, everybody's everything, and choreography. I learned choreographies that I wasn't even in. I just knew the entire show
by heart.
You could give me by heart. I was backstage mouthing the words with the people on stage when I wasn't in a scene. It was like I knew everything. And as a 10-year-old, it was just, for me, it was like, okay, this is what I know, and I hear it constantly. So I'm just soaking up everything that I hear, and it's every night performing for summer.
I know.
So
and you didn't do it for 2 years before La Médiatique. You only had rehearsed 3 months before La Médiatique.
Yeah. No, I'm talking, we did it. That was in the beginning, but after we had gone for 2 summers and 2 Christmases.
Oh yeah, for sure. The show ran for 2 years.
Yeah.
Which was really, what an amazing opportunity for you, because you literally entered having fun, going, this is going to be fun. I'm just playing, until you understood that this is a real deal and you need to show up and you need to do your sound check.
I don't think I realized that it was the real deal. I was still having fun. I just think that because it's a different energy when you're working with adults that are walking into work, and going to class when you're going just to have fun to class and to have fun and learn. So I think when I got the vibe of okay, no, this is work, and these people that I'm working with, like obviously they're having fun, but this is considered work for them, and I'm still in school. Like for me, school is work, not a job, like so that's where I kind of caught that it was a serious show.
That is actually pretty funny what you just said, because we should always remember that you're going in just to play. Obviously you were getting paid, so you had to really show up being the professional that they needed on
Yeah,
set, on stage.
but I had done some stuff before though. I'd done some a couple appearances on TV shows on set and things like that. So I kind of knew what I was doing, but I think that when that happened, everyday rehearsal after school, like I didn't do my writing exam in grade 4 for the ministère for the government exam. So like they did all these things for me that I would absolutely not miss doing a show or a rehearsal. So that that's well, that was great for me, but yeah.
School is still school. We still have to go to school, right? That's what mommy says. But you keep changing it around for me, going, Mom, I want to live by my passion, because your passion changed a little bit. Like, I mean,
Yeah, I kind of feel like right now, since I'm becoming my own person, like obviously you had me under your wing, um, which was great. So I got to experience what it was like to have your kind of lifestyle and what you were doing since a young age as well. But now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, is dancing and acting really what I want to do? Or the virus brought boredom to me. I was very bored, and it was very boring. So I just started playing video games all day long. And then I said, after a couple of weeks, I thought we were going back to school, and then I didn't realize we were just going to be in quarantine for months. But so I said, okay, if we're in this for a long time, I said I better find something else to do. And then I started listening to, I don't know how I found Queen. I don't know how I found Queen at all, but I remember listening to Bohemian Rhapsody and saying, oh, that's cool. It's on the piano. I know how to play piano a bit, that I had done classes in the past a little bit. So I just searched up on YouTube, on Google, chords and this and that. And I just started learning the chords to Bohemian Rhapsody. And then I said, wait, this is really cool. And then I learned the chords to Don't Stop Me Now. And then all their big hits, and then I said, no, I want to get back into class, which that's where my piano teacher, Chris, said, oh, I have these 3 pieces that we're going to learn. And this was all on Zoom, which learning piano on Zoom is not the easiest thing to do, but we still did it. And so one of the pieces was Your Song, Elton John. And I remember thinking, what's this? He says, you don't know Your Song? No, I don't know Your Song. What is that? Oh, then we're going to have to learn this first. And I remember learning the first dun, 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 the whole beginning, and not being able to play at all. And I was like, oh, this is too hard for me. I can't. And just being able to. And then I fell in love with that song. And I was like, oh, wait, that's your song. And you can tell oh, that's him. Then I did some research on who's Elton John. Then I found the hit catalog that he has. I'm still standing. Huge hit there. Saturday. Like I can name for hundreds of songs that he has that I knew already, but I just didn't know it was him. And so that's where the whole Elton John thing came from, and learning all his songs, because he's great. He's a master at what he does. I don't think there's anybody that compares to what he's done in music, especially today. Now his whole thing is promoting young artists. And that's something that I really appreciate that he's doing. He's 75. He doesn't have to have a podcast where he plays young people's music he's trying to expose these artists, which is amazing that he does, like who gets to say, oh, my life is all about promoting younger artists now. Like, I just find that fascinating. So that's where the whole piano thing came in. And then he writes songs. So I told myself, oh, I could write songs too. And then I just found a passion for writing songs and music and piano. And now that's what I want to pursue in life. I want to do albums like him. I want to make albums and hopefully make a career in the music industry.
So out of your three disciplines, which you still do, because you are singing and you're a musician now, like, thank God for the pandemic. Do you think if the pandemic wouldn't have been here, do you think you would have been the musician, the songwriter, and the song artist you are today?
I don't think that I would have been the same now. It's because of the pandemic that I'm at the level that I am because it gave me time, but it also gave me the opportunity to find what's cool out of the piano because I thought piano, oh, I hate piano, classical stuff. I don't want to learn that. And then you remember I quit. You remember you trying to tell me go to class, but I didn't like it until I realized that no, wait, this could be really cool. And then that's how it started, you know. But
So
I wouldn't have found. I don't think I would have found music and my passion for music if the pandemic wouldn't have happened. I still loved music. I mean, it's all relevant. The dancing, you need to dance to music. You need to sing to music. It's all together, but I don't think it would have been the same passion as I do have now.
You would not have enough time to do it all because you do spend, like, literally there's 24 hours in a day. I think sometimes you could spend up to 20 hours doing music.
Yeah. Here's the thing. When I'm like a perfectionist, if I want to practice something, I better practice a long time to get that right. Because then if I don't practice 20 minutes going, okay, I'm happy with that. Like, no, I want to hear it the right way, the way it's meant to play. When I record something on Logic, you know, I don't just quantize everything and try and make everything perfect and try and make everything sound good and change the sound and everything. I do not millions, thousands of takes, I'll say, just to get the right one. And obviously I'm frustrated because, oh, I messed up. I was doing so good. And then you got to redo it. Oh, I messed up again. Yeah, I need to take a break. I need to massage my fingers because right now I'm too intense. Okay, let's go again. But that frustration comes with the passion that I have for music. That's why I don't just abandon it and say, oh, screw this. I'm going to do something else. Unlike school, I might be doing homework and after 30 minutes, I'll be like, okay, that's enough math for today. Compared to music, I'll be doing takes upon takes and writing different things and trying to figure out what's good.
So it's funny to say though, because the preparation that I teach at the studio, and obviously you grew up with all my artist friends. You grew up with some of the big artists here, the French artists that we have. So you worked with many of them. You've been mentored by many of them. There's one thing that I hear you say, the fact that you're a perfectionist, that you're going to take 1,000 takes because you want this product to be so good. So what is the difference between what you do and what we do at the studio?
I learn by watching. That's how I learned. And I've studied the greats, been exposed to music in Sec 1, let's say, for real, by listening to Michael Jackson like hours. And then it really turned into an obsession because his music is amazing. Like it's still to this day could be considered not outdated. So I think that's where it came from. And I watched all the interviews that he's done. I've watched all the things that he said, how he comes up with these ideas and how he works. And he once said, study the greats and become greater. Now I kept that in my head and I said, okay, I'm going to study the greats and become greater. I've studied him to the bone. Like I know everything. Then Freddie Mercury came along and Queen, and I studied everything about Freddie that there was to know and about where he came from with his technical side because he's a phenomenal piano player too. So learning everything about that, I've learned everything that there is to learn about Elton John. And now today, for the longest time, I always told myself, music today isn't as good as it was before. but I like where we're heading now, you know? So I'm studying the greats of our time right now. Who is that? Who's making it big right now? And my idols, my modern idols at least, are like Dua Lipa, who's making great like 80s music. The Weeknd, he's making great 80s music. So you see, it all started from one place, which is now turned into this huge appreciation that I have. And like I said before, Michael Jackson said, study the greats and become greater.
Yeah,
How phenomenal is, like, how crazy is that to say? Like, you think about that, he is the great. Who did he watch? Then I had to go back. Who did he watch when he was younger? Who was it? James Brown. He was a huge influence on Michael. Then I went to watch James Brown. I know Little Richard was a huge influence on Elton John. So I went to learn Little Richard stuff, 50s rock and roll. But even further, there was Fred Astaire, there was Gene Kelly, there was all these huge artists that inspired the idols, the icons of today. So that's where that comes from. You see where it all started. Yes, where it all started and where it is now. So that's what I find interesting and where I could see. And then I get to say, like, these are the people that inspired the people that are inspiring me right now. So that's where the whole question of generations come into play. And that's why music will never die because of it. I hear something, I get inspired, I write something right away.
And now you're learning how to write lyrics. You're learning how to be a lyricist, and you're just like,
for the longest time, I told myself, because Elton John doesn't write his lyrics. So I told myself, I can't write lyrics. I just write music. And then I play a couple of chords and think I have a song. Like, it doesn't work that way. And then I told myself, like, well, there's nobody that I know who can like write lyrics for me, or at least wants to, or who I've asked. So I said, I'll give it a shot. And I was watching an interview with Ed Sheeran, and he was saying that when writing lyrics and writing songs in general, it's like a sewer, an old sewer. You have to let like all the dirt and old stuff like come out when you turn it on before the clear water just starts flowing. So I wrote the bad songs. I wrote the what is that? No, that's not catchy, or that's not good, or that's not good music or anything. I wrote all that stuff, and it's now that I'm starting to say, this is cooler. This has potential. So
you started writing your songs and your sound and creating your sound for your album, because this is what you're aspiring to be. You want to be a songwriter.
Yeah, I'd like to release a few albums. Our attention today is very short. We see a clip for 3 seconds, and then we get annoyed or okay, this isn't interesting. Next. That's how we are today, and a big thing today is what I find in what's coming back, at least what it was in 2010. Music was just a lot of singing, and a lot of times artists just didn't give the chance for the music to, just groove or just play, which is happening. It's starting to happen, at least. You could sing for 2 minutes and then have a nice 30-second break in between of just music, and you just jam out, which I'm glad that's coming back, because we need that, because attention, people get bored, and we have to come back to that feeling. There were songs in the 70s that were lasting 7, 8, 9 minutes. And today we can't even stand a song that's 3 minutes, 4 minutes. So I'm glad we're heading back to that direction, because the big artists today are doing that. So, yeah.
All right. So where do you see your career? Knowing all this, knowing that you did the research, because mothers and fathers listening in, if your child has a passion, funny enough that we're both very passionate people in the household. There is always music, maybe too loud for my liking sometimes, because home is the only place where I can relax a little bit, but my son is a teen and loves to play his music. And sometimes I feel like he has his own band and his own content.
Well, what I have to say to that is that it's better than me yelling at video games all day long.
You are so right on that. So mommy has to endure the screaming, singing, and the loud playing. But you know what?
Actually, I want to say one last thing though, just before I forget. I always go back to my roots. You taught me storytelling is very important, this and that. Storytelling, it's all about the story, whether it be acting, dancing, singing, anything. Everything's a story. So when I write my songs, and especially I'm writing an album right now, I'm telling a story throughout the entire thing, which is starting to come back. It's a thing, but that's where I come from. The acting side is huge. Like I started in dance, sure, but acting was my main thing when I was younger, and singing as well. So now I'm saying, you know what? I don't want to just write a song because whatever, I want it to make sense. I want to have a story. So instead of writing maybe a book or a play or whatever, I'm just writing a story through my music. So that's where my roots come from also, and which is storytelling.
Isn't that amazing though? Because all the other styles serve you because of the experience you had in learning and getting educated, because our teachers at the studio educate us. When you talk to me about Fred Astaire, you were just mentioning him, but your strongest dance style is tap dance. And who better to teach you tap than our master tap dancer here, Benny Dreyer? He always comes in with a lot of knowledge in educating you guys and showing you the videos. And he shares all these stories about Fred Astaire. So it's amazing how you have a background that's not only music, you have a storytelling, because yes, you're still an actor, you're still a dancer, because even when you play your own music, you're dancing full out. You put these lights and you record yourself like literally dancing full out. Literally, if you would have to be, you're one man show. You could dance, sing, play piano. You don't need to hire any backup dancers. You can maybe do it on the piano or something. You could do all of it together. And the acting side of you, I think, is your strongest skill set. Oh my God, Alessandro, if you learn how to tap, play piano, sing, and your storytelling is one of your strongest assets, you can bring all that together, and that just creates you. And this is all your loves together, but in your own format, in your own way, in your own vision of how all of this looks like in your head.
Yeah, like a lot of shows, you go see a concert today, a lot of it is dubbed, like not lip synced, but they're singing over a track. But I want to bring musicianship back, like using real instruments is a thing. A lot of that is not really, instruments aren't really used anymore in music.
Well, in musical theater, you work with a lot of musicians in musical theater. It's always kind of live.
Yeah, yes, but I'm talking in the music industry, pop music, and what you hear on the radio. Bring back music and just help everybody's musicality, because a lot of people's musicality over the years were starting to lower, and you hear less music and you just hear melodies over music a lot, which is fine too. But I also like having a 30-second, 40-second dance break in the middle, that's great.
And why do you
that's
like
my
that?
thing.
Why is it your thing?
Because I'm visual when I see music. I hear music obviously, but I'm very visual. Like if I hear something, I'll go, oh, what's cool when I go to this? Again, going back to my inspiration with Michael Jackson, like, his music videos, he started music videos. His idea was mini movies. I watched Thriller and he's doing that entire dance in between. He's not singing, he's dancing. But is that not cool? Like, why do we have to cut just so time can fit, because people's attention span is very short compared to what it was before, So I want to bring that back. If I do a music video, I'm obviously going to have like some kind of choreography thing, because it's cool. And if you can make it look cool, costumes, the look, the set, everything about one of my favorite music videos is Thriller,
You perfectly said it right. And in my head, I'm thinking of all the teens that don't have the same passion as you, because you also go to school with teens that don't that are not passionate, that are looking for something to do. And in your case, like, I mean, you're way too passionate. Like you're creating, you're producing, you're mixing, you're on a whole other level. I can't even keep up with you, my son. I can't keep up with you because it's never ending. What amazes me is your research, your profound research, your knowledge and experience that you literally always want to dig for more information. You listen to so many podcasts.
Like I said, I watch and I learn. I listen and I learn. You see, study the greats and become greater. It's all these things that are implanted in my head that I have to do to learn. You know, you don't just pick it up like that. Like people ask me, "Oh, how do you do that?" I can't tell you. Like I listen. I don't just do it. I listen. I find ways to figure it out. Something's not working. I'll go see what this person did to see how I can make what I'm trying to do work. You know, I'm learning by listening and watching, not just trying to figure it out. You know, I watch, I listen to the interviews, I listen to what they say, then I do it. I don't just do it, you know, I learn, you know, and that's what's important.
I get it. And I'm very happy hearing this, but other teens don't have this. They actually, if they have an album, they just want to record and get it out there on social media. You're the opposite. Not on social media. I'm not even sure if you know social media exists because you don't like promoting it right away. You're not out there yet.
Well, I have to figure that out, how to do that, because I'm not very good at that. I don't know where to start, but I have my music. I think that's what's important right now. I have almost 30 songs that I want to record just a few. And, you know, then it's the promoting, there's social media, you know, because I know a lot of people are good at social media. And then I got to figure that out, how to do that, you know, because I have no posts right now. I just have my account. So I think it would be great if I could start posting some stuff here and there.
So yeah, if we go back to some of your experiences, which one stands out to you the most of everything you've done?
I know what I think you want me to say, but I'm going to say Mary Poppins. But
what what did I want you to say? I have no idea.
Okay, probably. Okay. Well, it's just, I think you were thinking that I was going to say Madison Square Garden.
Oh, you did that
yeah, a lot of people freak out when I say that. And I'm just nobody compared to, like, I'm nothing. And I get to say, yeah, I did Madison Square Garden. I have to say about that is it was like a dream. Highlight would be Mary Poppins because, you know, I won't forget it. It's part of my story, my life, and my childhood, especially. Madison Square Garden, though, it is a highlight. I just feel like it was a dream. Like, you know, you wake up and you have this great dream, and then you're like, okay, but it was just a dream in the end. But no, this was like real.
People listening in have no idea. What was that for?
I sang the national anthem, the Canadian national anthem, and the American national anthem as well for the NBA, for the Toronto Raptors and the New York Knicks. And yeah, so like I said, it was a dream. Like I still don't know how I did it. Maybe my performance could have been maybe my performance could have been better now that I look back, but I just think that if you look at the video, I'm just looking up and I'm not looking anywhere else, and I'm just staying still because I don't want to mess up. Okay, I won't look anywhere. I'm gonna look up and I'm just gonna sing. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Like, and I don't know how I did it. But I did.
I was so nervous for you. I couldn't understand. I think it was a dream for us too. I didn't believe it until I got there going, oh, this is for real. Even all the celebrities that were there, even the players, they were just standing there and they were cheering you on. But, you know, they're so tall. You were so tiny.
I had the Raptors on my left and the Knicks on my right.
Yeah.
And I was just in the middle, and that was great. And then like today I look back and I just say, like, yeah, I did Madison Square Garden. And at the same time, I get to say, yeah, I sang in a stadium where all my heroes and icons have sang. Like I get to say, yeah, Michael Jackson performed there. Yeah, Prince performed there. Yeah, Elton John performed there. Yeah, all these artists that I love have performed there. And I get to say, wow, I performed in the same place. Like, this is Madison Square Garden, like, and that's cool. It's not, I haven't even performed Bell Center and I already did Madison Square Garden. Like, it's that kind of thing, So I'm just like, wow.
And who knows, Alessandro, because of the song career that you're going on, and who knows where it's going to lead you, you might end up back there, and many other fans are going to be listening to your music, because that's your goal, right? You want a lot of people to listen to your music.
I want to build it slowly. I just think that somewhere along the lines, I told myself, if I like my music, I'm sure someone out there is going to like my music, And I've already showed my friends, and they like the stuff that I'm working on. And so, yeah, but the goal is not to blow up overnight, because to me, that really sucks. And to the people that happens, like they say it happens overnight, I just feel bad because a lot of them, it's years of work that they put before that. So it's not overnight. They've worked almost their entire lives, and then they come out of nowhere and then make it big, So it's not overnight that I want to work. Like, it takes work. And
when you started listening to Elton John and Freddie Mercury and all these legends, and then you started watching their movies, their autobiography, their life. Now that concerned me as a parent, because I'm like, oh, he's so young to understand the real stuff that happens behind all that great stuff that happens on stage.
Yeah, but at the same time, no, because I mean, it's just, you look at every artist at that time, it was just a normal thing. Whatever they did was just a normal thing that was not seen like crazy, So in my head, I'm like, okay, well, that's their life. It's not my life. I didn't really think, oh, should be scared. I watched this and I was like, oh, wow, okay, this is what they had to suffer with. It's a lot of suffering to have that level of, to be that level of professionalism and fame, I guess. So you learn, you see how they get through it. Was it really the best way? Was it not the best way, what they did? And yeah.
But you're stuck in your basement and you play your music. And when fame might hit, might not hit, who knows? That's not what you're doing it for, which is amazing. But if it would hit, and then you don't have your personal life anymore and everything's taken away, do you think you're able to stay grounded and balanced?
No, I wouldn't say no. Today, it's not the same as what it was. You don't see, like, obviously you see a lot of paparazzi today and craziness, but with huge artists, like I think I've seen that with Justin Bieber and who else? I can't even think about anybody else, but things like that, like where they just follow wherever you go. But then there's some other artists where they can actually just live a life, and I think that's good today. And I think that's all because of social media, like they call it A-class celebrities, and then there's the other, and then there's the social media celebrities,
Oh boy, I never heard that one. What's the A-class celebrity? What?
Yeah, A-class is like the real people, I don't know what that means, but the real celebrities.
Oh.
And then well, yeah, because people that make it big on YouTube are not, yeah, sure, they made it big on YouTube, but what's social media, that's what it is.
Okay, so how big do you want to go?
Wherever what I'm doing takes me. I don't have a goal in mind. I just want to do what I want to do. I don't say, oh, I want that. No, I just say, look, I want to write songs, and whatever happens. I know that I'm happy doing whatever I'm doing. I want to start recording because I feel like I'm writing so much that just might as well put it out there instead of just accumulating everything. So that's my goal, but wherever it takes me. But again, the goal is not to blow up like crazy. I want my work to pay off,
We said that you're a clown since you're a kid, but you love the community and you love making them dance and you love entertaining people, whether it's whether it's you alone in your basement, because you entertain yourself all day long, you literally entertain yourself all day long. But then every time there's somebody, you're entertaining them. And every time you go somewhere, you're entertaining them. It's just something that follows you everywhere.
I feel like I've been an entertainer since I was for all my life, basically. Like I can't remember a time where I would just not entertaining, I think that it's part of who I am now. So even with people, I'm always entertaining, with my friends, they laugh at everything I do, whether I'm trying to make them laugh or whether I'm not trying to make them laugh. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I guess I'm just funny, and that comes with joy and happiness. Why I'm funny is because I'm happy, or I could say something like really stupid and it's just funny because it just doesn't make sense what I'm saying, and I just don't think maybe, but it's just, I've always entertained people, and I like it because I get to put smiles on people's faces.
So you don't take yourself that seriously?
No, I take myself seriously when I want to get something done right, but once the work is done, then you just have fun. And either way, if it's not fun, you have to stop. If you want something and you're just not willing to put the work and the time because you want the result, you don't want the process, that's where there's a problem. And me, I want the process. If anything, that's what I like the most, because that's where you get to have the most fun. The end is just a bonus,
I'm listening to you and it sounds like I'm speaking. So everything that I've been saying for years, I think it's really settling in, but in a different way, because even if you're speaking my language, we also argue because how I see it and how you see it is two different ways. And music is not my domain. I'm not in music. Yeah. Yes, I'm in the musical theater world, but not in the music, songwriting, mixing. I mean, I don't even know how to do any of that stuff. Like I had to go get my mentor, like some of the friends, to mentor you. But what is the difference? Because how is it that we speak the same language, but yet we don't understand each other in some topics?
Well, it's different. It's just, it's like, I forgot where I heard this from, but like a bunch of like 6 blind men are touching different parts of an elephant, and they have to describe it. Obviously it's different everywhere, but it's show business. It's the arts. It's different everywhere. So what you're doing and what I'm doing, sure, it's art, but it's completely different.
When I would tell you, Alessandro, train, which is funny because you do it many hours a day.
Yeah.
You are training, but at the same time, like you're focusing in on your way of doing it. And when I'm thinking of training, I'm thinking, because obviously your voice has changed. You're not 10 years old singing anymore, and your voice is still changing. So you have to not only keep singing and practicing it, but you have to train those vocal cords in order to keep doing what you're doing.
It's also adapting to the change. But now I think it's settling. I have to be careful with my voice now, because if I use it too much, I'm going to ruin it. But one day I could reach a high C sharp, and then the next I can only reach a high G, so it depends on how much I rest, how much I've warmed up.
Everything you're sharing is great for all of you young people, passionate people, even parents, like I said, we're both in the business. Both of us started very young in the business. I started at 13. Alessandro started he was like 9. But at 15, I started touring with Nathalie Simard, the Simard family, and René Simard. And, I used to dance for René Simard. And Alessandro married Poppins. René Simard was his dad. So we both started with the same family, which makes me so happy, because for me, it's not about booking every projects, because I don't care about the bookings. That's not where I come from. My focus is always about the training and the surrounding. And that makes me more happier to know that he's well surrounded and he's learning from the best artists. And, you got a chance to sing with Bruno Pelletier. You got a chance to also do a video with Mario Pescia. These are people that are celebrating 40 years of their career.
I don't think I realize it. Even today, I don't think I realize it, but you keep naming everything I do. I'm like, oh yeah, I did that too. Oh yeah, that's cool. I did that too. I remember that. Like I did a few things, and
Just a few. Like you even worked with Jennifer Coolidge on Single All the Way, a Netflix movie that was shot here. And just that experience, like not what was seen in the movie, but that experience of all day improving with her. How was that? Jennifer Coolidge with you improving.
She's great. I don't know if I can really add on that. She's amazing at what she does. Like, I thought, okay, you have got to come in ready. You're doing an acting job. You got to come in ready, knowing your lines. And I didn't have a big part at all, even though like I had one line. We were still shooting for like 3-4 days. But that was great because I got to have more time on set with Jennifer. But what she does is that she looks at her script, she'll take a look at it, and then she'll go based off of what she remembers. Like she'll just say whatever. That's why first couple of takes, it was everybody laughed on the first take, but by the second take, I wanted to laugh like crazy at one line, and I just had to hold, like I was like I had to hold it in, but nobody was laughing. Like everybody was making the effort, so I'm like, oh, I have to make an effort not to laugh. This is too funny. And she surprises every single take. There's something new, you know. It surprises everybody. But yeah, working with her was great. And she's super nice too. She's super nice.
Yeah, and she did give you a nice compliment, and she noticed your improv skills because that's how you started in acting. You've been improving since you're 9 years old. And I always say actors that do improv go far because the director has more fun. And I've said that so many years that for me, these are the highlights for me. When I see my son working with someone like Jennifer Coolidge, and she's like literally improving. Now he had the skills. He wasn't just stuck there going, I'm waiting to act. Alessandro was able to play. He felt at home. And did you feel like it was like, oh, this feels like class. This is something I've been doing all the time.
No, yeah, exactly. To me, in my head, it was just like, okay, well, that's what I got to do. Like, that's just how it is. But like, I'm in a drama program this year at school, and I just see the difference that is taught like in school, like I'm at least at my school, and what we're actually doing at the studio, what we're learning in improv and everything like that. But we're doing a play right now, and I freaked out when I saw how many people were, oh, what is my reaction to this line? Like, just react, just do it. Why are you asking? The director, my teacher, she loves me because she's like, okay, stop asking me what you to do, just do it because all your ideas are clearly great. That's literally what she told me. I'm like, okay, great, I'll do that. But other people, what's my reaction? Okay, where do I go? Okay, what do I do here? I'm like, oh no, I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to be a director if that's what I was being asked all the time. Just do it, I don't think I've asked one question to make sure if something that I did was good, and she and then twice, and then 3 times. After 3 times, she's like, okay, stop asking me because everything you're doing is funny. It's good. It's not like everything is good. So stop asking me. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's a green card for me.
Alessandro, it's because it's since birth that you're only seeing professional artists do what they do. So for you, you don't understand. Let's say you were not trained with all these disciplines at the right foundation, teaching you the foundation and the education that you have today at 16. It makes me so proud to hear you say that, because not everybody does the research to bring the kids that are passionate to a good school where they're going to learn all these skills that they're going to apply with ease once they head onto the professional world. But for you, it's like, oh, I mean, just act, just react, just do it. But you've had years of training, of understanding.
It's like drinking water. Oh, how do you drink water? Like, okay, I just do. Like, it's like asking anybody, oh, how do you go to sleep? Okay, maybe that's not a good example, but okay, how do you eat? Like, like how do you do all these things that are just like it's human nature. You just do that. That to me, it's just so natural, because like people ask me, oh, how are you able to? I don't know. I have no explanation. I just do it. I've been raised like this. I'm since a young age. It's like, okay, the same way I was taught to make my bed in the morning, the same way I'm gonna be coming up with ideas and performing on stage, and not have to like ask every little thing that I want. Oh, can I do this? Can I do that? Like, and by the way, people, this is the first time I see this, especially in school, but people that tell me, oh, you're actually supposed to be there and not there. People that tell me that, what I have to say is, oh, do you want to do my role? Because clearly you're not like pay attention on your role. That's a big mistake that a lot of students at my school at least are doing, which is trying to correct other people, but like, oh, you need to do this instead of that. Like, okay, let the teacher tell me what I can or cannot do. Do you know what the teacher told me? Do you know what the teacher told me? No. You know, so you have to have, if you want this, you have to not worry about other people. You need to worry about yourself, and you have to be able to have that capability of being able to perform, to be able to entertain, not just do it. I could say a line. Sure, I could say, hi, how are you? Or I could say, hey, how are you? You know, I just said the same words, but completely different, you know? And I see that at school. I say something and it resonates, and then the person responding to me does not resonate. So I have to try and say it in a way that can make it resonate back, you know? And the teacher sees that. That's why I get A in everything I do. So
in drama, you mean?
in drama, but I get A in everything in performing, but I get like C's and C plus because in memorization, because obviously I learned that you get a glance at the script and you basically just do it according to what like you see. Like you don't have to know everything word for word, but I guess it's different in school. Like, you know, being graded on how to perform and memorize is so different than just actually having like a job and actually like being told to do it, you know? So it's also that learning. Like, I feel like I'm so many steps ahead than what I'm learning at school right now. But, you know, I it's still fun to see what it's been like at school for the past 4 years.
What can you tell the other teens? Like, I mean, because a lot of teens have struggled. Like, I own a studio and the teens are the ones that got hit really hard. Now, for me, being a mother of a teen, I had it the other way around. So I couldn't relate because I'm like, why? Like, just find something, do it. What can you tell them?
Okay, get off of social media. Find something that, like, social media is great, obviously, but don't spend hours upon hours. I know people, a lot of my friends just do that until 2, 3, 4 in the morning. And
oh my God.
They'll do that all their weekend, you know, and get barely sleep. But, you know, there's other things. Like I said, me, I was doing the video game thing and I stopped myself. I didn't need you to have to tell me, oh, like, get off your video games. No, I realized by myself to say, no, I can't be doing this for a long time in the beginning of quarantine.
You didn't like video games that much anyway.
I did. No, I did. But I got, like, at a certain point, I was just like, okay, I need something new. Okay, I need something this, that. It's always been like that, you know, since I was young. It's always something new, always. But then the music thing just really stuck. And I think that me wanting something new all the time, there's always something, was just trying to find what clicked, you know? And I feel like now I really found something that clicked. So,
yeah, totally. Okay. So if I go back to our trips to New York, because we've done a lot of that since you're like 6 years old, and we've been seeing a lot of musical theater. Which Broadway musical is your favorite?
Wicked.
And
without a doubt. Probably Dear Evan Hansen.
Well, you didn't see the Michael Jackson one, which I can't wait to bring you over to summer. You're going to love Michael Jackson musical.
No, yeah, I know. I've been wanting to see it for a long time. MJ the musical. It looks, I've seen clips. It looks great. I really want to see that one, but I don't know. We've seen so many. I remember being 9 years old going to see Billy Elliot. I remember like 8, 9 years old. We were there with everybody and we were going to see Billy Elliot. Like, that was an old show, but like I saw it. Like, I've seen so many shows, so many. Oh, maybe SpongeBob SquarePants. Oh
yeah, you really like that one. You like SpongeBob.
Yeah. And no, but there's just so many shows that, you know, I guess it's the magic of Broadway.
And also you played in 2 off-Broadway musicals and you got that chance, which it just happened. And literally on your first one, you got the lead. Like, I mean, the Canadian Kid got the lead in this off-Broadway musical. Yeah.
So, well, I think that's where the whole question of comedy and improvisation comes into play. Like, you know, they say, oh, act like a villain who's like kind of funny but weird, and, you know, he's a bug, and make this happen. Okay, you know, okay, we'll give you 5 minutes. Are you ready? I think I am. Okay, let's go. And then you do the audition. Next thing I knew, I had the part. But like you see, it's because I know how to make people laugh out of what I do, and especially that they gave me the liberty to play. You know, they gave me the opportunity to just be the character and play it. You know, so I got to add a lot of things that were very Ale and not just the character. You know.
You make it your own every time. And that's why it's really nice to see. Sometimes I forget you're my son because I literally look at you as an artist and I watch
Yeah.
you and learn from you. And we were on set for the Mario Pesha video clip not long ago. And that was another thing that I watched you. And you were delivering on like literally the first take is already great. And I'm like, this guy.
I remember the the audition. The audition was just okay. What do you like to do? What's your name, age, height, all that kind of stuff. It was not a scene, you know. Then it was improvisation. So I'm like, oh yeah, I know how to improv. And what was it? Oh yeah, it was something like, oh, you got to get mad at your parents for doing something. They're like, can you relate to something? I'm like, I'll figure something out. Then, are you ready? Yep. Okay, we're rolling. Then I just start yelling, like getting mad because that was what the scene was, you know. And then towards the end, be more vulnerable. Okay, I'll do that. Did it, and I remember walking out, and you're like, "Isn't it like you have to scream in every single clip that you do?" I'm like, "Well, that's what they want, you know. I'm going full out for them, and I guess I got it, so it clearly works. Clearly, it works."
There you go. You got a little bit of our relationship. He comes out and I'm like, why are you screaming? But they
I
told
remember
me to
thinking,
go for it.
yeah, but I remember like you heard it like across the room. I'm like, well, I guess I'm resonating. I'm like using my voice to really like show, and that shows in the performance. You know, oh, you don't have to scream to perform like that. Yeah, I do. Well, that's how I do. Yeah, I'm a very loud person, and I talk fast and I talk loud. That's just how I am. So it shows in my performance. If I'm getting mad, I'm gonna get mad. You know,
I hear
even
you.
what the other what's the other clip I did with the mom gets shamed or something like that, you
Yes,
know.
with
I
Paradigm.
Yeah, I didn't have to audition. I just got a call for that. But um then we were there and learned my script. They were like, okay, bring it huge, and I know you always tell me, oh, make it small for the camera, it's too big. I loved it there because they were like, oh, go bigger for the camera, go as big as you possibly can. And I was like, oh, this is what I like. So then I just started yelling, and I have this ability to make a vein pop in my neck and make my face very red, which I didn't know I was able to do until that day. So that was great. So you see, that was another yelling clip, but that's what they like, you know. That's the energy that brings the scene to another place, you know.
Oh, of
So yeah.
course, I definitely agree with you, Alessandro. You
I
go.
remember thinking that day too. You told me, "Oh, but why are you yelling?" Because that's what they asked. Because that's what they asked.
So do you see the difference between mother and son? Like I would be like, stay small for the camera, don't go big. And he would do it his own way. Well, they asked me to go big, I'll go big. So
Well, I don't even care what they ask me. I'll just walk in with do it the way I want and then take notes. You know, come in with what you prepared, and then they say, "Oh, that." They always want bigger, and then they say smaller. Don't
right.
make it small, and then they have to say make it bigger. That's not what you want. You want to start off big, and if it's too big, which rarely happens, they'll say, "Okay, a little bit smaller."
And that's why the directors like to play with you because you literally listen, apply it, and you come in with choices. You really come in with strong choices, which
But I don't even think it's I don't think it's choices though, because I think so much on the spot that like we learned with Anik at the studio, first thought not best thought, you know. So I don't know. Okay, he says action. I don't know what I'm about to do. I just do it.
you definitely understood the passionate side of everything. You understood the work, doing the work. That's what you understood. And that for me, like I said, it's much bigger than any bookings because in the end, you have control of your career. First of all, you have control of your life and who you are, and no one can change you because you stay honest and true to who you are. And that's beautiful. Now, Alessandro, yes, you've done, I think, 5 musicals, a little bit everywhere, which 2 was off Broadway. What do you remember the most in all of your training? You worked with so many artists, Stratford artists, New York artists, French Canadian artists. Like, you worked with so many people that in my head, what is it that you retain the most? Because
there's so many things I've learned. This is a tough question. This is like saying, "Oh, what do you remember in high school?" to like a 50 or 60-year-old. Like, no, I don't remember anything. Like, I just feel like you just learn everything along the way. I don't have anything in mind that
that's fine.
pops up, but I learned so many things that I just use today without actually knowing that I learned it then.
And what did you learn from me?
From you, just how to live. I learned everything, like everything. So, like, yeah, I can't tell you, oh, my mom taught me this. Like, no, you literally anything. Like, you taught me everything.
All right. Well, I'm happy that I taught you everything because you're still very young and there's still a lot of learning to do.
I'm in such a better like place in my head than I was.
You also discovered voiceover last year, and you said, "Mom, I love this. This is what I want to do."
Yeah, because I wanted to start getting away from the whole acting thing and dancing thing. So but voiceover dubbing is great. You just once you learn how to do it, which I'm glad I had the opportunity of learning when I was younger, because now today it's like a breeze. But I didn't know it was actually hard to read the band.
Yeah, the original band.
Yeah. So I didn't know that was obviously it's tough in the beginning, but then once you get the hang of it, you get the hang of it. And then it turns into an afternoon of just a recording, do a couple takes of whatever, and then you get paid for it. So like that's why. It's not like I'm putting crazy amount of efforts in it. I'm just standing up, I'm reading, and I'm performing just to a director and a sound engineer. So
right. Well, that's why I like it, because of your acting skills and you know how to bring a story to life.
It's now that I'm appreciating what I want to do and figuring out what I want to do. Especially I'm in high school towards the end, and they're saying, oh, what do you want to do in life? What stage do you want to go to, this, that, and I'm just trying to figure out everything. So that's why if I want to do music, that's like I have to head towards that. I can't, obviously I could do other stuff too, but they're saying, what do you have to make up your mind, like, which is kind of stupid, because why would they say make up your mind? I'm literally 16, but at the same time, I'm like, a lot of people don't know what they want to do. A lot of people that I know don't even know what they want to do. And I'm just like here, like, okay, well, I've tasted everything that there is like to get from. I got a taste of acting. I got a taste of this. I got a taste of everything in arts. Even painting I've done. Like, I've done everything that there is to do in arts. So now, out of everything I've done is where I get to say, okay, this is what resonates with me. That's what that is. So the door is not closed, but it's still, I'm still like, this is what I want to go towards. And obviously I guess I could do it all, but I won't have the same connection if I do it all to if I'm just doing one.
Oh, I can't wait to hear you speak in like 10 years from now, because if you are doing it all, you're going to be like, wow. Because
you have one life. I just realized that not too long ago. So, like, make up your mind. Like, you have one life, and like, just make sure you do it right, I guess, and that's why I'm doing pretty well, I guess.
Well, we congratulate you and we wish you the best, and keep being passionate and keep being you and keep being funny, because that's who you are. That's who Alessandro is. And was it fun to be interviewed by me, Alessandro?
Oh, yes.
Do you listen to Mommy's podcast? Because that's how you got really into Albert Chambers about songwriting.
I learned a lot of things from just listening to the podcast. I listened to Barnett's podcast as well. So, a lot of the music stuff was what I was listening to, and they were really great. So, see, so I don't take notes with a pen and paper, but I'm still retaining and learning everything that he was saying.
Well, thank you, artists, for taking the time, because you see, this is a next generation that are coming up, that are learning from you by your experience, what you learned and what you have to share. And I'm happy that my son gets to listen in and take whatever you say and apply it. So we end on that note. Thank you, Alessandro, for being my guest today. And
Thank you.
And I wish you the best. Mom loves you, and keep shining bright. Keep shining your light wherever it leads you. Make sure that your heart is always center stage.
Thanks, Matt.